personal finance business line has developed a very successful tool to between BNP Paribas, the big energy providers in France, and a very wide network of small enterprises to help the energy renovation of what is in line with energy transition, so taxonomy. We need transparency and disclosure, so with TCFD, and in APAC.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thierry, you will have the world. Yes, they are cutting. Don't worry. You will have
the worst situation you see in Beijing is during high polluted days, people smoking in the street.
Yes.
It was mentioned, e-bikes, cars, mobility is part of the livability of our cities, and so that's what we are going to be talking about. We're joined by Pavan, a long-term veteran of banking, and then went into the economics of ecosystems, biodiversity, and then built his career out in that field. Satya, and both of them, of course, well known, were already with us for the last 3 years. Satya, a long-term civil servant, started in the India Administrative Service, and then in, I believe, 1998, joined the United Nations program, earned his marks in the reconstruction after the tsunami in Aceh, and from there on moved into climate change, climate mitigation, and is now just recently moved to head the New York office of the United Nations Environment of Andhra Pradesh, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu. Unfortunately, the Honorable Chief Minister could not be with us. He was detained in Andhra Pradesh due to climatological circumstances, being a typhoon that kept him, of course, in place to manage this issue. But he is with us on video, and I think we can have him on the screen now. Honorable Minister, thank you for being with us, and the floor is yours.
We don't have land to sit. To start with, I was in bus for some time. Bus is my office, my accommodation, office cum residence. That is how I started.
To create a city is to have a vision. To bring the vision to life, needed is determination.
Our vision is to be #1 in India by 2029. Happiness is ended. 34,000 acres of land without paying even 1 by people forward, farmers came forward, they have land.
Amaravati is an outcome of patriotism for one's motherland. It is a journey transforming into a reality for those who call it home. A smart city infrastructure for 3.5 million citizens is being created to accommodate everything that's essential for the formation of a capital. The blueprint for the master plan was finalized in record time. Countries like Singapore, Japan, China are actively partnering Amaravati for development of key infrastructure and projects contributing to economic development. While the nation is waking up to a new dawn, an army of construction workers, structural engineers, equipped with their tools, are getting ready for the next shift towards the creation of a megalithic greenfield city. Amaravati, the people's capital. residences for all its public representatives, elected MLAs, MLCs, All India Services officers, gazetted and non-gazetted ranks are estimated to be completed by February 2019. To shape this project, ensuring the highest standard of quality and technological precision. Smart connectivity is a lifeline to its fullest potential. In strive of this, Amaravati is envisaged
globally to make this experiment a successful one.
Thank you, Chief Minister. Satya, at the United Nations Environment also, so we have the global agreement with BNP Paribas, but you of course work with other partners from the financial sector. And Eric Solheim was here last year explaining how he sees the contribution and the mobilization of private capital as an absolute necessity. Maybe you can comment a few words on
Sure.
that vision from UNE.
Allow me to share a little statistic that most of you are aware of. The global GDP, depending on the country, of course, the ratio might change a little bit, but almost 70% is private sector.
2/3 is private sector, yeah.
So with 70% of the GDP being generated by the private sector, we've been having a conversation about public funds for almost 45 wasteful years, if I may put it that way. Because that's a conversation that has taken us nowhere. Who's going to pay whom, whose responsibility it is, who's the bad guy, who are the good guys, it doesn't work. Because that's why we are at the IPCC special report, the 1.5%, and as Bertrand Piccard put it so eloquently, every straw, it's the straw that will break the camel's back. It is not another half a degree more. Every decibel will sink you and burst your eardrums. That's a fact of life. Because, you know, somebody famously said, I was a young student then, and somebody said, oh, the American way of life cannot be compromised. And I really admire the American way of life if you talk about democracy, about freedom of expression and all those things. But if you're talking about using 35% of world's resources with 4% of world's population, you need 5 more planets for everybody to get there, and we don't have those planets. Sorry. So what we need to do is find private finance that can do public good. And we are already seeing the green shoots of that. My friends from RLU are here somewhere today. The first project that the Tropical Landscapes Finance Facility, which we helped catalyze, $350 million project, which brings back 88,000 hectares of degraded land back to life. And just in terms of a comparative scale, that's bigger than the size of Singapore, the city state we are in. In India, as the Chief Minister pointed out so eloquently, 6 million farmers, 8 million hectares of cropland, $2.3 billion of investment to catalyze that. But that's not the big number there. The big number is something else. Currently, India spends about $12 billion in fertilizer subsidies, with about $1 billion being spent in Andhra Pradesh alone. So since this particular form of agriculture completely obviates the need of any use of fertilizer, that means the government there, whether it's the state government or the central government, will save $1 billion in 5 years' time. They'll save that billion in perpetuity, because you don't need to spend that subsidy anymore. We're looking at ways and means, and we're engaged with the highest levels of the government of India to see, can we repurpose those subsidies to service the costs.
Sure. Yeah.
Then it will be completely cost neutral to do the switch. And that will set another gold standard for the world to look at subsidies with a very, very different eyes, and how you can actually repurpose subsidies. But this is public expenditure. But can you use that to catalyze transformative system scale ideas that can really change the world?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
That's why I want to tell one thing. Excuse me, I want to add one thing apart from chapati. Health expenditure, we are spending huge money. We can reduce the health budget also. And also suffering, human suffering because of health, all problems. It is very huge. With natural farming, people are very happy. They are demonstrating. They are telling me First of all, my family is very happy and healthy.
Yeah.
This I wanted to brief all of you.
Great. Honorable Chief Minister, thank you so much for being with us, for taking the time out of your busy schedule. Satya, Pavan, thank you for your contribution. Thank you.
Thank you, Yoris. Thank you, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, sir, Mr. Tripathi, and Mr. Sukhdev.
Until you properly price
Apparently cheaper.
Apparently cheaper, until you properly price in the externalities.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that is something where governments need to step up.
The river, if that comes, it will have some more area also. Amaravati will be the ensures quality of life for all. This is our main issue. Even inclusive and sustainable neighborhood concept. Under 3,200 kilometers of dedicated walking and cycling tracks, 80% public transportation, sustainable and clean industries, affordable healthcare within 10 minutes, highest per capita green space. This is where we are working in a big way. For that, all technologies, 3D I am using, best technologies I am using, so that I can plan it systematically. Even you name anything in IoT, everything I want to use it. You name any technology in the world has to come to Andhra Pradesh as on today. We are working with real-time governance. Nowhere in the world. That is how things are happening in Andhra Pradesh. Even we are working in such a way, care to achieve engagement by leadership. 170 meetings personally I have taken up. And also if you see, 1,000 hours I have spent as on today. And also 500 qualified full-time professionals across domains, people are working. Every Wednesday, we made it Amaravati Day. That is how things are happening. These are all various consultants. If you see, they are all our partners now. Fosters and partners, McKinsey, Sarbanam, and also CS2M, GIC, you name Singapore, so many organizations, they are all working with us now. This is a very interesting. Land is 52,000 acres of land is available. Planning, master plan details are over. Design, world-class people who are engaging here. Already assembly is over. It will be most beautiful assembly, that is people capital we are building. High Court and Secretariat. These are all not traditional. Very innovative way we are working by integrating our historical events also, historical heritage. Here if you see, construction and economic development is our main concentration. If you see here, already in India, best universities, WIT, Amrut, SRM, and also multiple, so many higher education, SLRI, you name any best university, they are all here now. If you can see here, this is where we are engaging world-class construction companies, also best companies in India. Within a very short time, we are able to complete our assembly and also our temporary transit secretariat. Now we are moving permanent construction. That is how we are working. These are all the various works are going on. If you see the tallest legislature in the world itself, built up area, if you can imagine, 100 acres of land. And also in land, we are building this building. This is the tallest, one of the beautiful, iconic building we are building. High Court, if you see, this is Buddha. Buddhism has been promoted to overseas from Andhra Pradesh, from Amaravati. That is the history. Even now, people are referring, even Japan, Thailand, even China, people are saying Buddhism has been come from Andhra Pradesh. That is their historical link. If you see here, These are all secretariat buildings, integrated administrative complex, 5 towers, all departments will come. This is where I want to go modern thing. And also I told my people, we are building future capital. It has to compete not government buildings. It has to compete with Google or otherwise Microsoft, that type of companies for creativity. That is how we are working, all secretariats, all this is the new concept I have taken, everything we are providing here. If you see, this is one area, global partnership. So many people are now working. Even this is the Singapore consortium. They are working with us. Ascendas and Singh Bridge with Amaravati development partner. They are working together. Work is going on. We have given a clear-cut agenda for both of us are agreed. Ultimately, this city is going to create 125,000 families, 250,000 jobs, $16 billion US economy. Over a period of time, we are having very clear milestones for developing this city. This is where best-in-class social infrastructure. If you see universities, I told you, so many universities have come. Schools, best schools in India, you name anything, everybody we are inviting. We are giving by invitation. Top 5 in the country or top 10 in the country, by invitation we are giving, we are persuading them. They are all coming to Amaravati. That is how I want to make Amaravati as a knowledge hub. Even hotels, if you see, all top global hotels, 7-star or 6-star, 5-star, 3-star, we are inviting. I want to construct a minimum 50,000, 1 lakh rooms in Amaravati over a period of time. That is our vision we are giving. It is going to happen. And also hospitals, you name anybody. In India, around 14 medical colleges are coming in Amaravati capital itself. Automatically there is 500 beds hospital and super specialties we are bringing. Even All India Institute of Medical Science has come. Even B.R. Shri is starting his medical hub in Amaravati. Like that, so many things we are working.
Looks like it. Okay.
If you see here, these are all different cities I told you. Finance city, tourism city, health city, knowledge city, electronic city, sports city, media city, justice city, government city. These are all various concepts of cities I wanted to develop here.
Okay. Honorable Minister, thank you very much for that very inspiring insight in building the city of the future. And so, moving on to Pavan. So we've seen the vision for building Amaravati, for building the infrastructure, but that also creates a place for people to live and a place to foster human capital. So would you like to share your view on how such city contributes to inclusive growth?
Sure, and firstly I would like to congratulate Chief Minister Naidu and his colleagues in Andhra Pradesh for an outstanding effort to create what I think is going to be the engine of Andhra Pradesh's economic growth. We are in Singapore here, sir, and Singapore grew, as the saying goes, from small nation to big city, and that has been the heart of its success. It's an ironic statement, but that's actually how it has become. And people very often forget around the world that in fact it is cities which are the engines of economic growth. And people also forget how important your point is about making Amaravati a knowledge hub, because too much focus is sometimes given on what I call the hardware of cities, the buildings, the construction, the transportation networks, the channels, and too little effort is given to concentrate on the software of cities. And the software is actually what creates the opportunity, because as you build pools of human capital, as you develop expertise in certain thoughtfully chosen areas, those pools become bigger, they interact, networks are formed, knowledge hubs are formed, and they become internationally competitive, and then they can truly take over their competitors. So I see this as something that is going to happen in Amaravati, and I'm delighted to hear your emphasis, sir, on building the knowledge hub, building what I would call the software of cities. With it, and to keep that knowledge hub growing, you need to have creativity and lifestyle. And once again, I would appreciate our host city here, Singapore, because very early on, they realized the importance of lifestyle, and they created the opportunity for talented people to migrate into here. And see how it has grown. I mean, just like you grew a clear knowledge hub for the IT services sector in Hyderabad in your previous job, in your previous avatar, if I may say. In the same way, Singapore has grown an entire private wealth management network out here by bringing in talented people from India and elsewhere and building out a hub for private wealth management, for fund management. For that matter, how Californian cities grew, again, making the IT world as the hub. These are different opportunities, and I'm hoping, Satya, and your comments would be welcome on how we can develop opportunities for Amaravati and for Andhra Pradesh.
Indeed, Satya, and how do you see private business from your angle, from a policy-making angle? How do you see private business contributing to that?
Thank you, Joris. Greetings, Mr. Naidu. We at the United Nations are extremely delighted and humbled to have the opportunity of collaborating with one of the most visionary politicians in the world, if I may say, and it will not be an exaggeration. Just for flavor of the conversation, I've been to 180 countries already and met with politicians in all these countries in my work with the United Nations, and I can say with some confidence that Mr. Naidu is among the very best that the world has to offer. Some statistics here. He's the man behind IT revolution in India. It is popularly said that 1 out of every 4 IT experts worldwide is an Indian, and his province is only 4% of India's population, with 25% of India's IT workforce that India keeps for itself and exports worldwide. The fact that they are trying something of a system scale transformation in natural farming is unheard of in terms of environmental and climate impact. It is 6 million farmers without inducement or subsidies, with a farmer-to-farmer extension. Yesterday I was with Sunny Verghese, the chairman of WBCST and also the founder chairman of Olam International. He was there at the launch of the partnership we had on 2nd June. And he said even at 165,000, it was the world's largest farmer-to-farmer extension. Yes. It is farmers teaching farmers, not the government or extension agents of the government. That is why it works. And as the Chief Minister mentioned in his presentation, from 40,000 in 2016 to 163,000 in 2017 to 500,000 in 2018. And 1.7 million and 4.1 million and 6 million. This is not conversation. These are 500,000 farmers, tenant farmers, extremely poor, underprivileged, and entrepreneurs. As Pawan most often says, if you take the automobile sector and the steel sector and the IT services sector worldwide, it's not more than 25 million jobs.
That's right. Yeah.
And the agriculture sector is 1 billion jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And each of these farmers are brave entrepreneurs with very little resilience. So this is God's work. And I'm not a religious person, but this is God's work if there is a God. This is really God's work, because you are caring for not just the humans, but every species that exists on this planet. Because if you look at what is happening there, there have been 1,400 crop cutting experiments. The global standard for healthy soil is about 70 earthworms per cubic meter of soil.
Yes.
The 120 earthworms we've seen in 1,400 sites. The World Agroforestry Center, the Director General is here somewhere, Tony Simons, who's a founding partner of the Sustainable India Finance Facility, championed and put together by UN Environment, World Agroforestry Center, and of course above all BNP Paribas, is to bring together these system scale transformations to fruition.
Yes.
But you can't do these without political leadership, which is the rarest thing to find. We can help, we can facilitate, we can work alongside, but we can't lead. That's not our job. That's the job of people like Mr. Naidu.
Yes.
And that's why this works.
Great, thank you, Satya. So, Satya, you jumped a little bit ahead. So we moved on from livable cities, smart cities, into the zero budget national farming. So that's the other project where the Chief Minister has taken the lead to convert agriculture in Andhra Pradesh to completely non-chemical agricultural methodology. But in addition to that, Pavan, also I think there's a very important impact of, so in addition to avoiding the chemicals, there's also a very important impact in terms of climate change.
Absolutely.
Your view is that we're well beyond the 17% contribution.
Oh, absolutely. I think food systems are underrepresented in terms of not only the fact that they are the center of our culture, that they are the world's largest employer, actually 1.5 billion overall, and out of that 1 billion are small farmers, like so many we have in Andhra Pradesh, less than 2 hectares. So we don't represent that. We don't represent that they are actually, if you take the rainforest that is destroyed in Brazil or Indonesia to create the land that is growing cattle or palm oil, and then the actual emissions from the farm, and then the manufacturing and processing and the emissions from that, and the food waste, if you take the food waste globally, it is as much as being second only to the whole of China and the whole of the USA. So if food waste were a country, it would be the third largest emitter in the United Nations, right? So if you take all that into account, then the food systems are not, my friends, 17% of greenhouse gas emissions. They are between 47 and 53%, half more or less, right? So in order to have sustainable farming of the kind that Chandrababu Naidu has supported and led in Andhra Pradesh, and which Satya is talking about, zero budget natural farming, it is basically low emissions actually is carbon positive. It is sequestering carbon in the soil because you are growing many crops at the same time. You are growing them in sequence. You are using the mulch from one to support the water retention and the carbon storage of the other, and so on. You are using no tillage or low tillage farming. All of these are attributes of zero budget natural farming. So it is going to be actually not just a solution to farmer happiness, which Chandrababu Naidu has described it as. It is going to be a solution to climate change, more powerful than anything else we have thought so far.
Exactly. So thank you for that additional dimension. Honorable Chief Minister, can we maybe ask you to comment on how in Amaravati, in the ZBNF project, how do you see the collaboration with the private sector, and how do you see the mobilization of private capital as a necessity to bring these projects to fruition?
No, I'm very happy. That's what I told you earlier also. We are in an inspiring world because of technology. Always I believe technology and I executed technology. It is helping me, it is giving results. Now I am going beyond that. Technology with nature. Both of them, we can integrate, we can do wonders. That is where zero budget farming is coming, natural farming is coming. I am requesting all of you. Even recently in the United Nations we discussed with so many partners, even certification, even financing or marketing. This is the product I am going to give with traceability, all parameters. So it is a wonderful time. If you can, all of us will make a model for the global community. Then others also will follow with this knowledge. Then we can do that. Even in Amaravati, if you see here, very interesting concept I am building. Renewable energy, we are leaders now. India is blessed with sunlight, abundant sunlight. We are using the sunlight. As of today, 23% of my energy is renewable. I am going to reach under 3-4 years 50%. And all vehicles will be electrical vehicles, pollution free. 50% greenery I am working. If you work all these things, you can see the environmental impact. We are protecting nature. We are the beneficiaries with nature. Technology is one more advantage. If you use technology, all these things we can do it. That is where we are working. I need good partners and friends and well-wishers.
Capital as its core strength. The sustainable infrastructure of the city in its nascence has given birth to the foundation of knowledge-driven economy.
Ultimately, Amaravati, I want to make a knowledge hub.
Amaravati is the first green capital city of India. The interim government complex today stands as a temple of good governance in the sunrise state of Andhra Pradesh. Amaravati is truly a city that is for the people, by the people, and of the people. That is what makes a people's capital.
With the development of the city, I wanted to bring happiness concept every inch of our development. I need your cooperation for building this city, one of the most happiest city in the world,
So, Honorable Chief Minister, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm following.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for being with us, and I think we can dive straight into it. We heard during the presentation the reference to human capital, and you closed off with a reference to happiness. So we would like to get your vision on how, by creating this new capital, you can actually foster the growth of human capital and create inclusive growth for Andhra Pradesh.
Thank you. Respected Mr. Jorish, respected Mr. Pavan, Mr. Satya, and friends and distinguished delegates. Good morning to everybody. Due to some reasons, especially cyclone, I'm staying here, but I'm very happy to participate through video conference. Now, I'm really appreciating this BNP Paribas Singapore division. They have taken up a good subject, Sustainable Future Forum Singapore. All of us have to learn today. It is very inspiring time. Now we are in 4th Industrial Revolution. In 4th Industrial Revolution, anything you want to get it done, it is possible. Only imagination and also visualization and ultimately how to get it done things is very important. That's why I wanted to brief you what we are doing in Andhra Pradesh. It is a new state. I wanted to brief you through a presentation. If you see Andhra Pradesh, it is now driving India's transformation. Exactly, it is a 4-year chain, new state. After I had an experience in building Hyderabad, one of the most global economy in Hyderabad. That is how I had done. If anybody will ask, that ecosystem in Hyderabad, one of the best ecosystem, 164 kilometers outer ring road, one of the best greenfield airport, and Cyberabad city, which is a knowledge economy. It contributed overall development of Hyderabad and earlier Andhra Pradesh. Today, after bifurcation, we have started our new journey. 4% of India's population, 8th largest state in India with 13% of India's coastline, 8 ports, 6 ports in operation. It is India's gateway to the east. Our state is Sunrise Andhra Pradesh. We have named it because it is central located and at the same time on east coast. That is the strength of our state. 6 airports are operating today. Ultimately, every district, 10 to 15 airports we are going to start. If you see ease of doing business by using technology, for the last 3 years, Government of India is rating with the DIBP and also World Bank. First year we are number 2. Successive 2 years we are number 1. Now I am thinking I want to go distant number 1. That is how we are working. Even vision, if you see, I have given a very clear vision for our state. Vision 2029 and also Vision 2050. If you see here, we are in a bad situation when state is bifurcated. We don't have capital, we don't have education institutions, and also we are having so many problems, employment and also industry, so many things. Earlier I focused in Hyderabad, that is for United Andhra Pradesh. Today again I have given a vision. By 2022, it will be one among top 3 in the country. 2029, it will be number 1 state in India, and also happiness is an index. Always nobody is talking about happiness. Human life is very important. One should be happily enjoy life while working, while living. That's why 2050, if you see, our state will be most preferred destination in the world itself. That is how I want to create this state. Even per capita income, if you see, by 2029, minimum $17,000. That is our aim. We will reach better than this because of knowledge economy. If you see, the vision is one aspect. How we are doing, what is the outcomes are important. Always I am saying, anything if you talk, that is a theory. If you produce outcomes, it is a reality. Even vision, if you prepare a vision and keep as it is only a document. But if you produce results and outcomes, then it is reality. If you see here in my state, 2011 and 12 onwards, steady growth. If you see 7.1% and also 8.1%, this is 6.98, 9.20, 10.80, 11.07. This is last year 11.22. Now average, if you see, 11.2%, national average is only 6.6%. Our aim is CAGR, 12% we want to grow 20 years. It is possible with the technology. If you can fix accountability, our people are capable of producing results. This is how we have shown that track record. If you see for a sustainable economy and also happiness, we have to concentrate on so many issues. One is, this is very interesting subject. We are going for zero budget natural farming. There is no fertilizer, there is no pesticides. You can trace the product also. Traceability, we are concentrating. As on today, if you see, groundwater, we are able to measure real time. Even rainfall, we are able to measure real time. Cyclone, thunderbolts, we are predicting exactly. And at the same time, we are taking actions also. Future is with information technology and also IoT. It is a very, very deadly combination. But at the same time, you have to go beyond that. That is, if you see, we are all eating as fertilizer, pesticides, infrastructure. So we are going here, natural farming. It is working very well. It is a win-win situation. One is farmer is going to be happy. cost will be reduced, and at the same time, even it is very good for consumer. That is how we are moving in that direction. If you see the milestones, how we are moving, if you see 2016, 40,000 farmers we started. 2017, 1,63,000 farmers. 2018, 500,000 farmers with 500,000 acres of land. By 2020, 1.7 million farmers. By 2022, 4.1 million farmers. By 2024, all 6 million farmers, nearly 80 lakh hectares of land will be under natural farming. You can see the energy levels and also environment promotion. You can, this will be the biggest experiment. I'm very happy. Recently, United Nations also, they are working with us. Even Satya is here, there. I'm very happy. We are working towards that. Even everything goes right, we will achieve before that. Even sustainable development goals. We are very clear, either nature, economy, and our society and well-being. We are going to achieve all sustainable development goals by 2022. As a matter of fact, they prescribed 2030. We are going to do it or achieve it by 2022. This is one more thing. We are linking all rivers. We are completing all irrigation projects. We are going in a big way how to harness rainwater through farm ponds. As on today, for the last 4 years, we are able to create 1 million farm ponds. Every drop of land will be supplied with water locally available. That is how we are working in a big way. This is, if I do this, then water, there is no problem. With natural farming, I can use water more efficiently. And also I am going water management through drip irrigation. That is also going in a big way. Now, coming to our Amaravati. This is a very new story. Even to create a capital, it's very difficult. And also, one should have a opportunity. It is a rare opportunity. I am converting here crisis into an opportunity. I don't have land, I don't have resources, but I am forced to develop a capital which is greenfield. That is how we design this city. I am very happy if you see this city, what all you are talking, everything we are going to do here. Even Amaravati, if you see, 8,603 square kilometers area is capital region. Capital city, if you see, 2,784 kilometers. Even seed capital, if you see, 217 kilometers. With all these things, by 2050, we are going to reach 110 billion US dollars. And also around 6 million employment. And also if you see two major issues here, 80 kilometers inner ring road, 189 kilometers outer ring road, 180 kilometers inland waterways, and also we are, what all you are talking to, 3,200 kilometers cycle path. This is the only in seed capital. We are using cycles, everything. If you see, this is the happy city we are working. It is human-centric urban planning and design. Trust and public partnership we are emphasizing. Economic development is our core concentration and emphasis. Responsiveness and sustainability is also very important future. Green, blue network in a big way. If you see here, so much of greenery and also water. This is one city we are having an advantage. Around 70-80 kilometers, both sides water is available. This is a big river, Krishna river. We are linking all rivers nearly 1,000 kilometers. Water will flow from river to river basin. Ultimately, throughout the year, fresh water is available, and also here, millions of acres of land is going to irrigate here. And also physical well-being is our concentration, and ultimately digital and smart. Without using digital, you cannot do anything. This is the principle we are following, 5, 10, 15 principle. 5 minutes emergency facilities, 10 minutes open space and recreation, 15 minutes walk to work. This is where we are working, and super specialties and important things will create centrally or different areas. If you see here, what is the trust and the partnership? Nearly 33,922 acres of land, around 28,000 farmers. They have come voluntarily. Nowhere in the world in a democratic country. I don't have money. I gave a call. It is a win-win situation. I am bringing all world-class infrastructure here, and also I am going to bring economic activity for you. Your land value will appreciate 4 to 5 times or minimum or 10 times. Why can't you join with me? Without asking anything, they joined with me. They have given 34,000 acres of land. As on today, nearly 64,000 plots we have established, we have given back. Now infrastructure we are developing. Now land value has been appreciated 3-4 times already. Now all development will take place. You can see the economy of the farmers. They are very happy. 99.9% supported this concept. This is where in Andhra Pradesh there is no litigation. Things are moving very smoothly. If you see here, 9 cities, 9 sub-cities we are working. Either sports city, economic city, even finance city, even tourism city. These are all 9 cities, even health city, even knowledge city. All these 9 concepts are taken. All 9 concepts we are working in a big way. Centrally, core competency of that city will be different themes, and at the same time, in and around most livable environment we are going to create. If you see here, Amaravati economy, as I already told you, $110 billion by 2050. We are having very clear milestones and also vision. To achieve this vision, we are bringing so many partners who can deliver. That is the beauty of this. And also already this city is platinum rated by Indian Green Building Council. If you see here, all government buildings to be green rated, 100% electric public transport system, 100% all vehicles will be electrical vehicles. Carbon, I am thinking very clearly, will be neutral, CO2 neutral. That is how we are working. Microclimate, I want to reduce 7 to 10 degrees temperature by taking all precautions naturally. Either water or greenery, all these things. I am confident we can achieve all these things. If you see here, blue-green network in city capital, 30% blue-green space in city, 80 kilometers inland waterways, 100 parks to each neighborhood, 7 very, very good, excellent islands in the river. I want to develop tourism in a big way. 53 kilometers riverfront both sides. You can imagine even we are building one more reservoir